Dear friends, welcome to this week's edition of the Inspired Parsha. This week we have the incredible privilege to read through Parsha Shelach. And like every Parsha in the Torah, there's so many beautiful, rich Torah ideas, especially in the Hasidic world. But I just want to focus on one pasuk, one verse. This is in Bamidbar, Numbers chapter 14, verse 1. It says, Vatisa kol ha'eda v'yitnu es kolam v'yibchu ha'am balayla hahu. The entire assembly raised their voices and cried that night. This is the famous sin of the spies. The spies went in to spy out on the land of Israel. They came back with a negative report. All the Jewish people, the spies, they cried. And this sin of not believing that the land of Israel was going to be good to them is a sin that we still feel to this day, the reverberations. There's a famous portion in the Talmud, the Gemara in the Talmud, in Tractate Tainus, that says that night was Tisha B'Av, and because they cried that night for no reason, they will one day be given a reason to cry, and that night became Tisha B'Av. And to this day, of course, every Tisha B'Av we feel the pain every year that was experienced on that day. So the question is, what was so big? What was exactly their sin? We know that they were great people. They were leaders of the tribes. They were leaders of that generation. So where did they go wrong? There's a beautiful insight from Lubavitcher Rebbe. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says that their sin really was a matter of perception. What happened is that before going into the land of Israel, they lived in a miraculous existence. Manna came down from heaven. They just witnessed the splitting of the sea. They witnessed the pillar of the clouds of glory, the pillar of fire protecting them. They witnessed the 10 miracles. The land of Israel was going to be a natural existence. And because of that, it was the unknown. You see, people are afraid sometimes of the unknown, and a lot of times it's laziness. We're used to a certain routine, and we're afraid to try something new. But sometimes it's not really believing in yourself enough. We all know the famous idea, and I've shared this in the past, that the verse says that they viewed themselves as grasshoppers. It says, in our eyes, when they looked at the giants that were living in the land of Israel, it wasn't just that the giants viewed them as grasshoppers, they viewed themselves as little, minuscule, tiny nothings that would not be able to conquer the land of Israel. So they had a poor perception of themselves, and they thought to themselves, when we go into the land of Israel, we're not going to be relying on miracles anymore. It's a natural existence, and we don't have that ability to do this on our own. Sometimes the fear of the unknown paralyzes a person, and a person's unwilling to take that challenge, that step forward, even when it's going to be to their own benefit. There's a famous story, parable, that someone was caught behind enemy lines, and they were going to be sentenced to a firing squad. And as they're going to the firing squad, there are two doors in front of them. And the captain says, behind one of these doors is the firing squad. Behind the other door is an unknown power. And he said, no one's ever seen what that unknown power is. You have a choice. You can either go through the door with the firing squad, or you can go face that unknown power, that unknown entity. So this person just chose to do the firing squad. He was afraid that maybe behind that other door was going to be some slow, torturous death that would be much worse than just a quick firing squad. So he chose the known. He chose the firing squad. Someone asked the captain afterwards, what's behind door number 2? We've seen you do this many times before. No one's ever gone behind door number 2. What's behind door number 2? And he said one word. He said, freedom. The idea is that people so often are willing to always go down the road that they know, rather than travel down the road that is unknown to them. This was the sin of the spies. Every day in life we're given a choice. Do we choose just what's familiar to ourselves, or do we sometimes go down the road that is unknown? I give everyone a bracha, a blessing. Challenge yourself. Look for areas of self-growth. Sometimes take that leap of faith. Go down that road sometimes of the unknown, even if it seems a little scary. If you know that it's going to benefit you long-term spiritually, you have faith in God that this is going to help you, this is the right thing for you to do, I bless you to take that leap into the unknown. Wishing everyone here a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh. Thank you so much for listening.